An issue I see is that Democrats, in an attempt to sway the middle, they will argue from the incrementalist standpoint, and essentially you're already ceding ground. So
Yes.
like you have to start with the lofty ideals, and then you can negotiate back to the incremental. But they will start with the incremental, and then they'll negotiate back to the conservative side.
Yep.
So how do you see that in government? What and kind of tell us, what are your goals, and what are your ambitions moving forward in your next term should you win? What are you looking to get done?
Yeah. Man. Okay. So I kind of want to talk about the party for a second because I started as I got involved in kind of early 2016 with party stuff and got on the Colorado Young Dems board and then helped fire back up the Arapahoe Young Dems and kind of got in and got on rules committees and platform committees. At one point, when we were redrafting the Colorado Democratic Party state platform, I drafted the statements on foreign policy and made it as explicitly like pro-Palestinian. I mean, we really pushed the envelope there in terms of really drawing some lines and respecting human rights and self-determination across the world and what that means for our party. And it's been interesting to see that also get kind of clawed back over the years. But it's sort of, I'm also informed by having run in this district and won. I think Man, I think there's a lot of internalized oppression within the Democratic Party. I think a lot of Democrats were the contrarians in their communities or in their church groups, in their family groups. And so a lot of times we then that carries with us, right? Some of us get steeled over time and then get just better and better at arguing and kind of pushing and just going like, I know people are never going to change. Like, I'm not going to like cede ground, as you said, immediately. But I think a lot of people make a lot of assumptions about what people think, and I think that's very it holds us back and it prevents us from really striving for huge things, because people just assume, oh, Republicans won't do this, or unaffiliated, or this, or voters are like this. And they base it on these polls, or they base it on anecdotal conversations that they have, right? Or their own internalized oppression of that, like they are themselves fighting something internally to be able to push, right? And that's not to say that people don't also just have philosophies of change that are different or have different interests and motivations and what they think the goals should be, right? And so I think you get in there, and then in our party, we struggle with that conversation, and that's why I think involvement from people are the left area of our party and unaffiliated who are feel disenfranchised and disenchanted with the party, voting in our primaries for the candidates that they feel really best represent them on the left is incredibly important, because at the end of the day, a lot of this all comes down to voting.